Welcome back, you are watching slicedlime and this is our beginner's command block tutorial series. Last time we learned how to use the /setblock command to set a block anywhere in the world. Today we're going to expand on that with two new commands, starting with /fill. So actually let's start by going into our chat window and typing in /fill with nothing else and we'll get the usage. So it's /fill x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2, tile name, data value, all block handling, data tag. Wow, that's a whole lot of things, but in practice it's not that difficult, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to make a tower with this. So let's replace the setblock command with a fill command, and we're going to have to input x2, y2, and z2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the same x, 32, and let's say 75 for y, and then 257 again for z. So we have the same x, the same z, but a different y. And we can use the default old block handling. If you remember from last time, those were optional. So we're going to leave out the old block handling and the data tag. Now let's press the button and we get a column. So we filled the same block, but then going upwards in y with the stone. Now that was one coordinate, so let's change the other two as well. So we'll add 1 to x, makes 33, and we'll add 1 to z, makes 258. So now we have from 32, 67, 257 to 33, 75, 258. Let's try it. So we get a bigger column, like a big tower here, and what we're doing is we're telling it two corners of a big box, one down here and one way up here, and the game will fill in the entire box with the material we specified. And that's a very useful command that we'll be using a lot in the future when we get to creating advanced clocks and stuff. We'll be using the fill command. So that's it for the fill command. Let's move on to the next command, which is going to be /clone. And before we get into the actual command, I'm gonna take this tower and I'm gonna decorate it a bit. So we're gonna change this up, make it a more complex structure by putting some redstone torches in. So we have a tower with on and off redstone torches in. Now let's get to the command. So we're gonna start by typing in /clone into the chat window as before, and now we get a whole bunch of things. So okay, /clone x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2, x, y, z, mask mode, clone mode. Okay, so as before, it's not as complicated as it may seem. Let's replace fill with clone. And then before we gave fill a box, we're still gonna give clone a box, but now we're also gonna give it a point. So what we're doing is we're telling the game take this box and then copy that box somewhere else. So this direction is the negative x direction. So what we're going to tell the game is put a new box with a lower corner at this position, and let's do it 4 blocks over. So 28, 67, 257, same y and same z. And then we had mask mode and clone mode, but let's not care about those right now. They were in square brackets in the command output. So if you remember, that means that they are optional, so we're not going to put them in. And then the only thing left is to remember to replace the command, so clone, and let's do it. So we got an exact copy of our little decorated tower here, and it looks exactly the same, and you can use this to copy any part of the world to any other part of the world. There are some restrictions though, like you cannot copy more than 32,768 blocks, that's the limit. And the command will fail if you try to copy more than that. And you can also not copy the regions if they overlap. However, that gets us into the mask mode and clone mode discussion. If you put clone mode to force, it will force the clone even if they overlap. And you can put it to move in order to make it clone the blocks and then replace the source region, the first box that you specified, with air. And then you can put it to normal mode, which is exactly the same as the mode we just used. So let's get into the mask mode one. There's filtered, masked, and replace. Replace is the one that we've used. It just replaces everything. Masked will make it only copy things that aren't air. So that's a way to kind of put two things on top of each other. And then there's filtered, which lets you copy only one kind of block. And you specify that block using a tile name, and that tile name you put last in the command. It's not actually output in the command output. But those are more advanced uses of it. The basic concept is copy one box to another box. So today we've learned how to fill a box with a certain type of block and how to copy a part of the world to another part of the world. Next time we're going to look at how to avoid having to type in the exact coordinates to a block in the world whenever you are making your commands. Until then, take care and thank you for watching.